This call is being recorded.
Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Austin, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am so excited, yes, again, to be here with another amazing professional, and she is a BMWOC corporate sponsor who I am so excited to have on this platform, along with the other supporting individuals that is making this event a success, because this year in 2018, oh my goodness, it is over 70 people on this podcast platform. So there is no excuse on not having the information. So with that, I want to encourage you to please visit all of the pages and listen to all of the podcast interviews from all of our participants this year, particularly our corporate sponsors, because they are the ones that are helping to drive this thing and making it possible for everybody else to be on this platform. So get your pen, get your paper, get your phone, get your iPad, whatever it is you need to get to listen to these podcasts, because you need to definitely do that this year. In case you missed this podcast platform this year, make sure you tune in for the 2019 Call of Speakers, because we will be coming back next year. And just in case you did not know, the purpose of the BMWOC is to not only share our industry information, but we are encouraging you, the career seekers, to look at the different lines of work that is happening out here and adjust accordingly. Before we get started, we would like to thank our corporate sponsors, which are Catt Serrano, LLC, Cheryl Wood Empowers, Concern and Learning, Evangelism Radio, Genesis Preferred Solutions, J Coach International, Nels Tax Help, My Financial Home, Power, STCI, and the student teacher, along with our other business partners and sponsors, and everyone who is making this event a huge success. So let's get right into it, because we got a lot to cover today. So today we have one of our business corporate sponsors, Catt Serrano, who is an award-winning author, speaker, life relationship coach, who help women obtain and maintain balance in work life and in love, and to live an abundant life. That's a lot, and she does a lot. So Catt started her coaching business in 2016 to help other women deal with the sometimes overwhelming issues of work, relationships, and trying to make a household while life is happening in the process. And during that 15 years, she has also served as a case manager, a corporate trainer, a facilitator, and a workshop leader. So I want you to continue reading her bio, because she has a lot of accolades there. And in the meantime, we're going to speak to Catt Serrano. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am excited, and thank you once again for being a BMWOC corporate sponsor. Your support does mean a whole lot to us to keep doing what we're doing. So thank you so very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right, so tell everybody where you're from and how did you get into your speaking?
I am from Indianapolis, Indiana, the Hoosier State. I got into speaking just from my life experiences, and I felt like that everything that I have been through in my life and overcome in my life, it could definitely help other people, especially other women. I have always been a listening ear, very open-minded. People, for whatever reason, I don't know why, they will always, and they still do, feel very comfortable telling me their problems, their issues, whatever they're going through. Some of the stuff I don't want to hear. I'm like, oh, why are you telling me that? But they do. And I've been able, before I became, started speaking professionally, I will always coach them, try to give them words of encouragement, wisdom, just some of my experiences and my testimony to help them get through. And so once I began to do that, I took a look at my own life, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I've overcome all of this stuff, and people are asking me this stuff. I think I like this. Let me do this, because I believe that not only myself, but there's plenty of women and men also, but there's plenty of us, especially people of color, that definitely has a story and a path of how we made it, how we got to where we are, and the things that we had to overcome. And I think that if more people are privileged to that information, the better that they can do themselves. I hate the stereotype of, people always say people of color don't help each other and nobody want to see others succeed and things of that nature. And I also kind of want to break that stigma, because myself and as many sponsors as you have, and as many other wonderful, wonderful, influential people that will be on the podcast have, and what we're doing is saying, hey, there's enough room for all of us. This is what happened with me. Don't do this. Don't make these same mistakes.
Right.
This is what you do, and things of that nature. So that's how I got where I am today.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, so I want to also go back because I really like that the fact that you are really digging in and using your organizations to bring us up and elevate us. But before you became a speaker, were you in any other type of profession before you actually went and ventured into the speaking realm, or did you just go straight into it like right after high school or something like that?
So right after high school, I was a little confused, and well, let me rephrase it. I was not confused. I was very set and had a very clear path of what I was going to do. I was going to law school. I was going to get into politics. But then, of course, life happened, and I ended up getting married. Well, correction, I had a child, and then I had another child, and then I got married to my kid's dad. And we had two more kids, and he was the type of a gentleman, very, very responsible, very fiscally responsible. He took care of his family, although he did not see the value in, there's no need to go into politics, social work, anything like that. Like, you need to do something that's going to make us money right now. So I went into accounting. So I was an accountant for a little while, and then after that marriage, which lasted 10 years until I was 29, 30-ish, I'm like, you know what? I need to do what I want to do. And at that time, again, I had started helping people. So I got my bachelor's in criminal justice. I've always been a state government employee. So I've always worked for state agencies, which is where the social work comes in, working for the Department of Services, the Division of Mental Health and Addiction as a program director, family case manager for the Department of Child Services, Family and Social Services Administration. So I've always kind of been in the realm of social work / helping others. And in that, I have been able to speak to whether it's clients to help them get their kids back or get off of government assistance or how to use it properly or find a proper mental health and addiction specialist. And then within those organizations, I was able to lead workshops, do trainings, and continue to coach and facilitate the employees of those organizations.
Okay. And that's wonderful. You kind of followed in that. So what was it that kind of got you out of that? Are you still doing it now? Or maybe I should rephrase. Are you still doing the social work now? Because I know that there's a shortage of social workers, or are you doing it in addition to your speaking now that in your current career?
I am, until this Thursday, I am still a state employee of the Department of Child Services. This Thursday will be my last day. I'm hanging up my hat there.
Uh-oh.
Um, I will be doing more speaking on a more regular basis, but I will also stay in the realm of social work, and I'll do some contracting as an independent contractor to still assist families with whatever services they need and to get them to wherever they need to get their kids back.
Well, that's wonderful because I'm telling you, the last couple of interviews that I had for people who are in the social work field or working closely in that industry really express the need for minority representation. What are your thoughts on that topic?
My thoughts on that topic is very strong, actually, because there are so many minorities that are in the system and get caught up in the system, and because so many people of color, and not just African Americans but Hispanics, a few Asians, but people of color have a lack of trust. They don't trust the system. They don't trust the process. So then you have people who kind of make their situation worse because they're going into it with the mindset of, the government is out to get me, or you're not really trying to help me. You're just trying to make my life worse off, or, you don't really want me to have my kids back. So it's very important for me to assist in that nature because, I try to tell people if you do get involved with the system, it's kind of sad, but we can overcome it. But if you trust the process, and if you hopefully, I hope I'm just not speaking for myself, but I am pretty confident that I did a very good job and really gave my all to my clients. And I would say that I'm about 92% positive most of my coworkers did the same. If you get a good a good case manager, they will, and myself will work for you and make sure that you get all the services you need, and just to kind of rebuild that trust and say, you know what, yes, we're in this situation, because for me, I'm in the situation with you, because I'm the one that has to call you every week and say, did you go get your drug screens? Did you do this? Did you do that? So if we're in this situation together, we need to make the most of this situation. We need to take advantage of everything, every service that's being offered, so that you're not in this situation again and you know how to stay out of it.
Exactly.
So it's very important to me.
Exactly. And you use the right word, we. But a lot of times there's no trust because the other person is not forthcoming with the information sometimes. They wanna not feel embarrassed. I remember years ago when I needed to have some type of social work in my life because of my mom and my family, nobody wanted to tell the truth. Nobody wanted to say exactly what the problem is. And I've always looked at it as, how can they help me if we're not telling them what exactly we need? And so it goes two ways. And I really want to express that it's not just one way where the social worker is calling and you're like, oh, this person not helping me. The question is, are you giving your all to the social worker so they can help you? That's another part of it too.
It is. And I tell a lot of my clients, and my favorite phrase to them when I first meet them is, I will help you as much as you help yourself. And you have to be honest with me. Like, don't blindside me because I'm here for you, and I can't help you if you're telling me you're doing something or not doing something, or you didn't give me the information, and then some other party's attorney brings it up when we're in the middle of court or something, and they say, Miss Serrano, did you know this? And I'm like, I don't know nothing. And it makes us all look bad.
It does.
Whereas if I have the information, and like you said, and if you trusted me and you trust the process to give me the information, that I'm going to do the right thing with the information, then I can advocate for you more and say, yep, I absolutely knew about that, and we discussed that, and this is the outcome of that, and this is what we're doing to address that.
Absolutely. So wonderful, and kudos for you for stepping up to say that. I know that people who I know in the social work realm also feel the same way. I really do. I mean, they have expressed it to me that they feel the same way. And so people who are listening, it is a two-way street. Whether you're dealing with a therapist or social worker or psychologist, nobody can help you unless you actually believe and trust in it, and also do the work by just being forthcoming with the information so that they can fight for you. And
Absolutely.
so I really give kudos for you for standing up and telling them that in the beginning. So as you were going on, fast forward into the day, you started Catt Serrano LLC. So let's talk a little bit about what you offer in your business and services.
So Catt Serrano LLC was actually birthed from, I don't know if I told you this or even put it in my bio, but I have a nonprofit as well. It's Girl Talk, the Series International.
Okay.
And that is assisting women ages 18 and above, basically monthly workshops to discuss things of domestic violence, financial stability, financial wealth, depression, things of that nature. And so that's all free. It's all a nonprofit. I don't charge for it. I actually use my own money to support it most of the time, outside of a little bit of funding here and there. And so Catt Serrano LLC was birthed because, again, I was able to write my first anthology book collaboration, and it was based upon basically me losing it all And when I say losing it all, I'm not talking monetary. I'm talking losing money, to the point where I was having suicidal ideations. And I'm like, this is too much. And life became too much for me. Dealing with a sick mom who was dealing with terminal cancer, and working a very stressful job, and raising kids, and having a spouse, and nieces and nephews, and all these people depending on me for all of these things. And I got to a really, really low point. And when I was able to pull myself out of it, my faith played a huge, huge part of that. And so when I got out of that and I was able to tell my story and my testimony, I was like, you know what? There are so many people and so many women, because I believe that women do a lot. Women, we're like everything to everybody. We do a lot. And I realized, you know what? I'm not the only person who can't figure out my life at
Right.
that moment. And I want to help other people figure out their life so that they don't get to the point that I got, or as low as I got. So I birthed Catt Serrano LLC, which is a coaching and consulting company. So basically, I have women clients. I've had a few male clients, but I primarily work with women. And basically, we work on just that work-life balance. We work on managing time management, because you have to have good time management to have a good work-life balance, because there's so many things and so many different elements going on a day-to-day basis. As women, we have our families, which is our children and our spouse. If you're religious or you go to church, you have your church family. If you're in church leadership, that's another layer of stress. If you have parents that are aging, another layer of stress. If you have a 9 to 5 and trying to be an entrepreneur all at the same time, those are all things that if you do not balance them properly, you will become overwhelmed. So it is my goal to help women balance all of that, to live the life that God promised us that we could have. I'll say it again: there's enough for everybody, and I don't mind sharing.
Exactly. And so you do this with workshops and webinars and things like that people can attend on how you teach your work-life balance?
Yeah, so I do have workshops. I don't necessarily do webinars, but I do phone conferences, workshops. I do one-on-one counseling. I do group coaching, classes. I'm going to do a tour coming up in 2019, so I'm excited about that. And it's 5 cities involved right now.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, so definitely, I do. Everything is kind of virtual. I do have some face-to-face clients that are here in the city, and we meet. And I tell you what, one of my coaches, because I have a coach, and one of my coaches gets on me all the time, like, "Oh my God, stop doing face-to-face. Why do you do that?" Because it'll be an hour session, and next thing you know, we're sitting there for 3 hours. I'm like, no, but I like face to face. Like, no, I
Face to
like
face
it.
is awesome. Face to face is awesome. But I think maybe because it all depends on, who your target is and how you're reaching them and things like that, because things are becoming so mobile these days.
They
And
are.
it's just so easy to just jump on a webinar or a Facebook Live or a Twitter chat and just start communicating with people. I think people are starting nowadays to become, it's becoming a new norm. That's what I'm thinking that it is. I still love the face-to-face. I love the face-to-face because you get to actually talk to them. They can ask you questions. There's a face to a name. And then I like the Facebook Live too. But there's nothing like that face-to-face though.
I agree.
Absolutely. So what cities are you going to be involved in? I'm curious now. I'm pretty sure everybody on this call is going to be wondering what tour you're going to be having soon so that they can see if it's in their town and they can come and see you.
I will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina, May 5th, although that is not part of my tour, but I am going to speak on a panel in Fayetteville, North Carolina on May 5th. But part of the tour in 2019, I will be in Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Philly,
Mhm.
Houston, Texas.
Yep. And all those other states that we're going to have listed
Yes.
on your website, because she's going to give it to me, y'all. She's going to give it to me, and I'm going to put it on her website so that you will not miss this tour that she's going to be on. So if she is somewhere in your area, please make sure you do that, because let me tell you, it's nothing like collaboration and learning stuff and just going out to these types of event, because you never know, you can get that personal, professional, or psychological help that you need, and you may meet a business partner, you might meet the next person to collaborate, you might meet your next client, it might put you in another state so that you can meet new people in other states. So you got to look at the big picture. So I want everybody to go down on her page, Catt Serrano LLC. What is it? .com?
It's actually just www.cattserrano.com.
All right, CattSerrano.com. You're going to go to CattSerrano.com and start, stalking her. Let's get up there and,
Yes,
and
stalk
go.
me, stalk me.
That's right. Stalk her. Go. I'm telling you, you got to do this, because you have to go out there and see what's going on. And I'm not just saying that because you're a business sponsor, because it is so needed these days. It is so needed with everyone out here with the stress and all this mass killing and suicide. I almost can't even bear it. But if we have people out here like Catt and some of these other health professionals, let's start stepping up and getting that help. We need to take control of this, and we can only do that if we click on that button or pick up that phone and start calling and getting the help that we need. Absolutely, we have to do it.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to do what you do, Catt, what 3 pieces of advice would you give someone to do the type of work that you do?
I would tell them, first and foremost, be very authentic, be transparent. Look into what their end goal is, because their end goal is going to dictate um who they're speaking to, what they're speaking about, what they want their end goal to be. And then I would also tell them to, one, have a coach or a mentor. You definitely need that. And then, I think most importantly, I would tell people to, like you said, have and I believe it's out here in the world, in the atmosphere already, because I think I follow her, a girl out of Atlanta. I think she created this title and said it best: have a business bestie. um get with people who have been there, who is still there, who's still doing the work, because you can learn so much from other people and you don't have to make as many mistakes. And I am one of those people, and I'm starting to meet a lot more people that believe the same thing I believe, which is it's enough room for all of us. I
Absolutely.
believe there's enough women, people of color, who are starting to get out of that crab in a barrel mentality and saying, it's okay to help somebody else, because who's assigned to me is assigned to me. Who's assigned to them is assigned to them. So it doesn't matter if I help you or not, because I'm going to have my audience and you're going to have yours. And it's enough
Absolutely.
people to go around. There's so many people on this continent.
I'm for real. I'm for real. And that's the mentality. I'm going to tell you, I think that is the theme for 2018 is get a mentor, get a coach or someone who has been it, done it, who can show you the ropes and things like that. And also invest in yourself. That is the 3 things that pretty much 90% of everyone who has been on this podcast thus far has said. And that is
Mhm.
the theme for 2018. So folks, you've heard it. I'm pretty sure you didn't listen to, like, I don't know how many podcasts by now, by the time you got to this one, but now you know you must have a mentor, and a mentor is different from a coach. Okay. You need a coach that's going to help you guide your business, and you need a mentor to keep you focused. And then you
Yes,
need to
absolutely.
invest in yourself by doing the work, getting the research, and attending the events. So yes, 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 yes. So you got me all hyped up, Catt. I'm telling you, because I can't stress it enough how important this is. And I really appreciate that there's people like yourself that is continuing this chain of positivity going on out here today, particularly for our minority community, and to get our women up to speed to use our power and our voice, and to strengthen our Black men out there too, and all the other minorities out there as well. So I really appreciate your efforts on that.
I appreciate you as well. Thank you for having me. And again, it's one of those things where, you know what, like you said, I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, but with the way we are today in technology, somebody in California might be assigned to me. Somebody in Japan might be assigned to me. And by you opening up this platform, I will reach those people who are assigned to me and are able to get in touch with me that way. So thank you. And thank you
Yeah,
for
and
doing
look, a perfect example. We're assigned to each other because we found each other. So that's a
yes,
really good. That's a good analogy, and I love it. Okay, so guys, you know your assignment. You have over 70 people to your disposal on this podcast platform. It is really up to you whether you use that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I know I'm gonna use it. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna use it. Cat's gonna use it. Everybody's gonna be using this platform. So we have to assign each other some stuff. So just don't wait for somebody to assign it to you. You can assign yourself some stuff. Okay, isn't that right? So, but thank you so much. I want to make sure you give all your contact information before you leave, so that way people can get in contact with you. We know you have a website, but give them your other contact information.
Great. So my contact information is really, really super simple, and my name goes with everything. It's Catt Serrano, www.cattserrano.com. It's Catt Serrano on Facebook. I think the only thing is different on Instagram is under Cat Coaches, and it might be Cat Coaches on Twitter. LinkedIn, Catt Serrano. My phone number is public. It's on Facebook. It's on my website. It's everywhere it needs to be. And then my email address is cat@cattserrano.com or info@cattserrano.com. Any of those forms of communication will get you a response, whether you text me, call me, email me, leave a message on the website. Any of those avenues or outlets, I will respond, and it will be me responding.
All right.
I don't have a personal assistant. It'll be me.
That's right. You got to get your personal touch. So thank you so much, Cass, for being on here, supporting and joining the movement to support small businesses and authors, and most of all, supporting the BMWOC movement by being a corporate sponsor. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.